Here's a quick overview of COP29, one of the most important climate events of the year. COP, which stands for the Conference of Parties, is the main decision-making body of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. This year's conference kicked off on November 11th in Baku, Azerbaijan, where delegates from nearly every country met for 2 weeks of negotiations, discussions, and collaborative planning, with one goal: tackling the climate crisis. So let's break it down. What was on the agenda and why it mattered? COP29 was laser focused on 4 key priorities aimed at accelerating global climate action, with finance at the heart of it all. Some even called it the Finance COP. Let's take a closer look at each priority. First up, climate finance. This priority aimed to align financial contributions with the massive funds needed for climate action. However, every fundamental part of the new Collective Quantified Goal, or NCQG, was debated, from the total amount required to which nations should contribute. Leaders at COP29 worked to find creative solutions, especially by involving the private sector, to unlock the finance required to meet global climate goals. The second priority was to fully operationalize Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. Article 6 is crucial for creating robust carbon markets which allow countries to cooperate on reducing emissions by channeling finance from high-emission sectors to clean projects. However, disagreements and concerns about greenwashing had previously held back its full potential. COP29 worked to streamline carbon markets and establish more transparent, accountable mechanisms, making it easier to channel funds to verified green projects. The third major focus was growing the Loss and Damage Fund, established to support communities most affected by climate disasters. This fund had been drastically underfunded. COP29 aimed to increase its scale by securing contributions from both public and private sectors. The board overseeing the fund appointed an executive director to lead efforts to attract more substantial funding for rebuilding communities hit hardest by climate impacts. Lastly, COP29 emphasized adaptation, helping countries prepare for the unavoidable impacts of climate change. Developing strong National Adaptation Plans, or NAPs, was a priority for protecting infrastructure, agriculture, and communities. A significant focus was securing financial and technical support to help vulnerable regions build resilience. By setting finance goals, developing carbon markets, expanding the Loss and Damage Fund, and strengthening adaptation, COP29 united global leaders around the shared, urgent task of combating climate change. As a critical geopolitical event, it brought together major global players to take collective action for our planet's future.